I'm joined now in studio by the Evansville Shakespeare Players. I've got Tony Shapperjohn, I've got Aaron, and I've got Otto, who are here to promote the Taming of the Shrew. How are we all doing today?
Fantastic.
Great,
wonderful.
Yes, I'm very happy to have you here. And this is a really big deal because for many years, Shakespeare in the Park takes place every summer, and it's been taking place at the Pagoda. But now, Tony, it's actually moved this year, correct?
Yes, we are moving to the grounds of Willard Library today.
Okay. And you guys actually, I live on First Avenue, so you guys actually had a new stage built for the...
Yeah, we built a special stage with a set, and we have better lights this year, and we have some live music that goes along with the play as well.
Okay, yeah, and the live music was something that you experimented with when you did Titus Andronicus, correct?
Yes, we had a gentleman by the name of Jesse Gallimore, who's fabulous.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
He's amazing. He live scored Titus Andronicus for us, which was really kind of awesome. And this one, what we've added is some kind of postmodern jukebox flair music because we have set Taming of the Shrew in the 1920s. So
I think really one thing that's incredible to note about what we've done this year especially is everything that we've done for the last 6-7 years has seemed to be kind of like found space. We've been working at the Pagoda, we've been using what we have around us and that kind of stuff. This is the first time where we actually get to pick exactly where we're at, build our set, and create the scenery around exactly what we want. So it's incredibly special and different too.
Yeah, because when you can actually create that instead of just having to work around stuff, it's gonna, and I'm sure the production shows as well.
Well, we have that big cast, like we were talking about before, 35 people, and we all came out and we helped build the set and we painted it, and there's a little bit of something extra special when you get out and you get to help and actually revive and build something there too.
We are also just a great big family.
Yeah.
We're a great big, really goofy, sometimes dysfunctional family. So that we spend the summer together. And I guess this is our 7th summer, which some people probably aren't aware of. But we've grown each year, and it's pretty fantastic.
And speaking of this, and you have a growing family, because Aaron, this is your first time being part of the Evansville Shakespeare Players. So what has your experience been like?
Incredible. It's such a, as she said, a warm, welcoming group, and everyone's just ready to rock and have a good time and jump right in and play. And that's what you want to do when you're acting, is play and find the joy and the fun in it and grab it and run. And
it's also an incredibly silly cast in that regard. They do play a lot, and a lot of people think, I know you and I were talking before we went on air, that Shakespeare is not very accessible sometimes to some people. And kind of what we try to do is, number one, bring it down. But one of the things people don't realize about Taming of the Shrew is there are a ton of really silly, slapsticky characters that come in, including kind of the Shrew herself.
I'm a great wrestler. I don't know what you're saying. I'm a serious wrestler. I was a wrestler in high school. No, not at all. But I do wrestle a lot in the show.
Are you the Ultimate Warrior? Is that actually who you are?
She had a 34-second defense against the belt. It was insane.
People were telling me what the moves I were doing. Hey, you did a blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it has a name?
She did a burning hammer off the top rope.
Wow.
I marked out.
I'm going to be there now. If she starts throwing suplexes and melter drivers, then we're gonna be in for a treat. Now, but I did say that sometimes Shakespeare can seem inaccessible, but you make it really fun and you try to make it more attainable. What I really liked about Much Ado About Nothing, which you did, I believe, 2 years ago, was you set it in the 70s, and you're saying that you're setting this one in the 20s?
The 20s, yes. There's a framing device to the show, which means that there's a play within the play, and it's modern times, and then we go back to the 20s. And not only that, I try to make it accessible because I think I discovered Shakespeare at 8 years old, which I guess is really abnormal, which I didn't realize till I got older. And I really feel like it's an all-ages event. Our youngest cast member is 12, and our oldest is up into his 60s, and that's one of the things that I think is really wonderful about our group.
That's Mark Atchison.
With you, actually, because when I was a little kid, someone asked me who the first man and woman were, and I said Romeo and Juliet. And my minister father was like,
no, that is not. That's a much darker ending, I feel like. Now, Aaron, while you were away from the Evansville area, you actually said you taught Shakespeare?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to graduate from USI with my BS
I also
in theater.
did. Yeah, what up, USI?
And had a great experience there. And in my travels, ended up in Chicago and worked at Chicago Shakespeare Theater for a season on Navy Pier. And they're doing some great expansions now, which is exciting too. But while there, my job as education outreach manager, we taught English teachers how to teach Shakespeare and get it on its feet, because he was an actor and he wrote the plays to be performed, and we kind of tenderly, delicately treat it like it's literature, and it's not really literature. It's something to be performed. He never expected anyone to read it. Like,
I've tried reading it. It's very dense.
If he popped up and like knew that the teenagers were reading it in classrooms, he'd be like, "No, get on your feet, perform it, please."
And we also joke that this was like The Office during that day and age.
Yeah, no,
like Shakespeare's sitcom.
it really is. Like, you get to this point where you're on stage, and like as an actor, like sometimes you even have trouble with the text, and you read through it, and you'll be on stage, and you'll realize that they're making a fart joke, and you're like, in that moment, like you're saying this line, you're like, "Oh, that's a fart joke. That's hilarious."
So what you're saying is, if you like fart jokes, this is a show for you.
If you like fart jokes, Shakespeare is for you, honestly.
So if people want to come check it out, it's happening this weekend. Tony, what are some details about it?
We are taking place on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. There's shade this year, which is also new to us, which is kind of fantastic.
It's a feature.
And the weather's supposed to be lovely. Bring some lawn chairs, bring a picnic if you want. It's an event for the whole family. It's free of charge, but donations are graciously accepted. Everything we do is funded by donations. So every penny you go gives back to next year's Shakespeare in the Park.
Very, very cool. And I look forward to making it out there. I'll have all the details on our website at 1061evansville.com. Evansville Shakespeare Players, thank you so much for stopping by today and spending some time and telling me all about Taming the Shrew.
Thanks for having us, Gavin.